Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on the recent DC animated film, Injustice. Now, as you know, Injustice is meant to be a 2021 adult animated superhero film that was based on the popular 2013 fighting game Injustice by NetherRealm Studio that also did the more newer Mortal Kombat games, as well as having a comic book series that lasted from 2013 all the way to 2016, set before the games. Now, for those who don't know, Injustice is meant to be a fighting game that kind of involves how Superman becomes a tyrant and how Batman brings the help of a parallel version of the Justice League from the main reality into his reality. So Injustice is meant to sort of be their own telling of year one, but with alternative stuff. So the premise of the film is meant to follow almost closely to the film. The comic, where Superman ends up losing Lois and her child to the Joker, where we see how Superman goes down a villainous path, and we kind of see how Batman is shocked, horrified, and even appalled by what Superman has become. Now, the film, I would say, is trying to be its own alternative thing with some slight differences. Now, in the events of year one, we did see how characters like Flash, Aquaman, Green Lantern, and all that played key parts. We saw how the Flash was horrified and even trying to question his royalties. We saw how Aquaman at first joined the insurgency, and we did see how Green Lantern went along with Superman out of fear and desperation. Here, the Flash is killed off. We also see how Green Lantern and Aquaman don't play any real key part, so really it's just kind of limiting down the numbers. And of course, we do kind of see how Captain Atom is quickly killed off by Superman, even though in the comics, Captain Atom went head on against Superman. And I kind of feel with Jonathan Kent being the only parent left, sort of works, but I think what makes it work with Martha Kent as well as Jonathan, they were meant to be parents who were just horrified and even shocked at what Clark had became. You can kind of tell they were shocked and even horrified at what Clark did to Green Arrow, and we even saw how Black Canary was even shocked and appalled as well. We saw how Alfred was disappointed in what basically Superman had became, and even saw how he was willing to sort of beat the crap out of Superman for everything he did to the Bat family. And I kind of feel with the film itself, at least tries to kind of redeem Wonder Woman by showing her shocked and even appalled at what Clark did to a sort of gang of Joker supporters. And I kind of feel at least it has Damian realizing that Batman was technically in the right. Well, in the games and comics, we saw how Damian went quite low, even showing how far he was willing to kill Victor Zsasz just to prove Superman's point. And I kind of feel at least the film doesn't try to forcibly redeem Superman. You can kind of tell after being reminded of his humanity, Batman justifiably points out that he's not going to get off easy. And I think this breaks away the whole typical forced redemption story, because sometimes if you have a character crossing a line or kind of either going too far gone, you want them to sort of start questioning what they do is right, but if they're too far gone but redeem themselves seeing the harm done, you don't want them to get a pass. And I think the series could have been better. I think the film could have been better, had it been made into a TV series by HBO Max or the CW, given the fact the Amazon series Invincible took time for you to get to know Omni-Man and saw how in his own mind he thinks he was doing the right things and knew what he was doing was wrong after he killed the Guardians of the Globe. We actually saw how Mark sort of developed as a superhero. We kind of got to see how the characters reacted in a sort of superhero, more adult world. And I would say, for the most part, given the fact this was meant to be a kind of loose adaptation from year one, from the Injustice comics, you could kind of tell the writers probably wanted to do it as a series, but decided to go the more rushed route. But I think for me, I still enjoyed it. I think the animation works. I think the voice actors do give a lot more feel to the characters. I think it's just trying to be something close to Injustice, even though it should have been a TV series on HBO Max. So I think it deserves a thumbs up. It's still good, but still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.